whether you are or are not in a relationship with Disha.
I fall in love every day.
Yes, you did.
So I'm falling in love right now. Two hours outstanding after my performance, taking pictures, and next thing you know, I'm like, "ये line क्यों नहीं खत्म हो रही है?" And then somebody told me कि जो bodyguards थे ना वो 500 ले रहे थे लोगों के कि आओ आपके photo. I've recorded your eyes inside an Airbnb in the kitchen, like literally in the kitchen cooking. I started writing in 2017, end of 16. So that was like the last year in college, and I wrote over like 200 songs.
200?
Yeah, me doing a show in Bangalore, seeing people singing word by word. That's it. Like I was like, I made it. People in South are singing Punjabi, one like word by word. Like what else you need?
Yeah. Talwiinder, welcome to the Hollywood Reporter India. I am so excited to have you in our studio. You know, I was thinking, I've done this for more than 30 years, but I've never talked to anyone in a mask. So this is going to be really interesting.
Let's go. Thank you for having me. It's an honor. I've seen your work and I'm a huge fan of your work and
Thank
the
you.
way you carry the conversation. And for me, I've done like one interview before this, and I knew I wanted to do another one, and your name was the first one that came to my mind. And my team made it happen. You guys made it happen. So let's get it started.
Thank you. Speaking of mask, right? One of my favorite poems is called The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. It's by T.S. Eliot. And he writes that there will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you will meet, right? Which is for all of us. When we go out into the world, we're preparing a face, but you literally put on a face, right? And what's fascinating for me in that is that you can decide, Talwiinder, when you're the rock star and when you're an ordinary person.
Yeah.
And you can go between those two entities. What insight has that given you into the nature of celebrity? Because you can be both things.
Yeah, I'll tell you off the top, one of the best is you see a lot of people's true colors when they don't know who they're talking to. You know?
Tell me how.
So like for me, I came to India in COVID, like second wave of COVID, because I was like, I want to go full at the music. And I was like, I don't want to email people from sitting in my house. And I was like, I need to physically be there. So I came to India and I met so many people, the music industry, so on, and artists. And a lot of the times I wouldn't even tell them who I am and just carry on the conversation. And then you would actually see how the person is. And then once somebody or I would tell them, like I say my name again, and then instantly the personality change would happen. The tone changes. So now I'm like, acha, so ab aise baat karenge hum. So that's definitely is. And for me, I wanted to keep people on their toes a little bit, you know. And that's one of them. And then the other one, I would say, yeah, it just gives. I feel like Mr. India. You seen that movie?
Of course.
So it's like, you know, I just turn on that button and it just becomes invisible. So that's what it has been. And for me, like, I don't want to have the stress of always looking fly, always looking at top of my game, because sometimes you're not having the best day. Sometimes you don't feel like dressing up. Sometimes you don't feel like facing people or even talking to people. So for me, it's been a privilege and a blessing that I get to pick either one.
Taking off from there, you've of course been asked this a lot, right? Why do you have the paint? And you've given several reasons. You said your father used to paint and therefore the face paint. You said you love golgappas and you love to eat without being hassled and all of that, right? But the one I like the most, and I'll quote you here, is you said that you wear this mask because music should be felt before it's seen. The paint strips away the ego, the distractions. It's a reminder that the art is bigger than the artist. Can you speak to this a little more?
Yeah, I tell that to everybody, right? Because I'm a music person. My art lives in people's ears. It's not made for the eyes. You can't hear music with your eyes, right? If I was an actor, it would be a totally different conversation. But I'm making music for people to feel, and then I feel like sometimes the visual can distract the audience from getting the message across. So for me, it's just I want people to just close their eyes and just get lost in the song and then kind of escape their reality. And then especially like if I'm showing them, oh, look at me, check out, look at my watch, look at my cars. Nobody's listening to the song. They're just, oh shit, look at that car in his video. Oh man, he got that. I don't want people to focus on that. It's like, bro, I put my hours and years into this. Can you just close your eyes and listen to the song?
Yeah.
And that's what it literally has been like, and then I really don't care about the fame. I really don't care about the attention. For me, I want the name to do the talking. Like, how back in the days, what's your name? Bond, James Bond. I'm chasing that, and it has been like that. I've met so many people like in these last couple of years where I go to a party and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Talwiinder, nice to meet you. And they're like, what's your name again? And I said Talwiinder, and then so for me, I get my dopamine comes from that.
Right.
Like, oh, the name, that's the talking, rather
Yeah.
than, because if somebody sees you coming already, they're already getting ready to say whatever they want, but you want to catch them a little spontaneously, and that's the Sagittarius in me. Likes to keep it a little fun.
But Talwiinder, see, there's a point when you think about what fame would be like and you imagine, and of course at that point, I mean, you decided from the beginning that you're going to cover your face, right? But when you do actually hit the fame, right, it's very intoxicating. It's very seductive. So, kabhi bhi, like, do you feel ki now I want, because now you're really, really famous. Right? तो कभी मतलब थोड़ा सा लालच होता है कि maybe I should now be myself?
No, I mean, that's the stubbornness in me, that it was never about, like, obviously who doesn't like attention, right?
Yeah.
Like as a kid, as a baby, I used to love attention. Like I've been performing at my school functions since first grade. So for me, just hearing the claps and all, but as I grew up and the social media came over and so on, it just became really toxic. And I seen other artists, other public figures trying to maintain that, because it's like you can't even breathe in peace. You can't even attend a function in peace. So for me, I wanted to break that. And then another thing was like, I wanted to leave an example for the upcoming artists that you don't have to be all bling bling. There's a way to get through the noise just by being real and just focusing on what matters.
Yeah.
And that's the agenda I've been pushing. And I'll come back to this in another question, that like how I feel about it, because we can talk about the elephant in the room. We can even start off.
We could?
We can even just start off from there, right? Like I woke up to the news, I saw the video, I saw my face everywhere.
Yeah.
And I saw it right before going to sleep. So for me, I was not in the right state of mind when I saw it, and it just, for me, it felt like it was snatched away from me the moment. That maybe because we've been working on this, for a really long time, and then I wanted to execute it perfectly, because obviously it was never about that I'm never gonna show my face. I'm never gonna. I'm not playing hide and seek with the world, It was just like, yo, just leave me alone. Just focus on what I'm giving to you. That's the public property. This is not. So when that video came out, and then
this is from the wedding.
Yes.
From Nupur Sanon's
Yes.
wedding, right?
Yes.
Where we can see the face.
Yes.
Right.
So I saw that, and then obviously it just spreads like a wildfire. People are messaging me like, hey, what's going on, this, that, and then obviously I don't know why people act like I haven't seen the video. Like 200, 300, 500 people sent me that video, And then on top of that, you're seeing people making content on it just to get some views. So that shows their true colors as well. Like, wow, just for some views, just for some likes, you're really gonna use this content to just get another piece on. And then even for the person that gave the video to the media, it's like, for what? For 5,000, for 10,000, 20,000, 50,000? You literally just killed somebody's little goal, little thing that they were working on, little psychology trick with the audience, right? So for me, I felt really heartbroken. But then the next day I saw this video where It was like an AI video, like a voiceover. So, oh, meet this artist, Talwiinder. He does not show his face because he wants the music to be the main focus. And that's when it hit me. Yeah, it is. I do have people's attention on the music now. So I don't have to be so, like, fidgety on key, oh, I'm not going to show my face. So it literally, like, it clicked in my moment because I did the whole thing was because I wanted people to focus on the music and then on me after. So now that I have everybody's attention on the music, it's not so taboo anymore.
So even if they see your face, they see it.
Yeah, exactly. You see it, but just don't bother me.
Right.
And if you come, he's not going to take a picture with you. This guy will, because he signed up for it.
Correct.
Come, when I'm in the face paint, come talk to me, bother me.
Right.
But when I'm not in the face paint, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
And don't, because that's the guy that's living a normal life. That's just a body that this guy is using to come into this avatar. He's a host, is what I call it. And when this guy comes on, he's using that body to let his music out in the world because he doesn't also want to be shown. So for me, it's like there's two of us in this, So there's that guy and then there's this guy. And that's why there's a double I in my name.
Yeah.
So this is clearly like a very, very two different personalities living in one body. And then that's what it has been. And then, yeah, ever since I saw that video, and then for me, obviously my world turned upside down because it's like and which was the point since beginning that people really care about the face more than the art. They kind of proved me right, And then at the end of the day, still, I have people who love my music, who love me for who I am. They don't care how I look. They don't care who I'm seeing. They don't care about any of that. But the other people that came into that crowd just to mess up the synergy and the environment that I had built for my community, I felt a little betrayed by that.
Violated. Yeah. But now you're in a space where you're like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you set the rules for the next phase now.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't know what I'm up to next.
Shah Rukh had once told me that I'm just an employee of the Shah Rukh Khan myth. So
exactly.
So clearly one Talwiinder is an employee or there's...
Exactly. He's just a host, man. He's just the body that this guy uses to come into real life.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just a voice flying around.
Yeah.
And the ideas flying around. And then whenever he has to execute, he has to go in front of the world. He doesn't want that host to go through that.
Yeah.
He wants that dude to chill out. Be like, okay, what do you want? You don't want to see people or you don't want to deal with people? Put a face paint on, man. Just activate me. Correct. I'll come out. I'll do my talking. I'll do my singing. I'll take care of the whole world for you. So that's it. That guy wants to just maintain his peace, mind his business, do regular stuff, go to cafes, watch a movie, go to malls, play bowling, basketball, volleyball, kuch bhi, hai na? So he's just doing that. And this guy, the least I can do is just protect him from all of this.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in this, I don't care who sees me. I don't care who comes up to me. People, my team can tell you, at shows after, once I get off the stage, I'm standing for an hour, sometimes 2 hours, just taking pictures with people.
Really?
Yeah. And my team is chilling, and I'm like, bro, no, he signed up for this. Yeah. This is the day they see me. I'm here. Come, whoever. And then next thing you know, sorry, I cursed.
It's okay.
Next thing you know, the bodyguards are taking money from the people. Because I'm like, ye line khatam kyun nahi ho rahi? Because obviously my voice is tired after singing and I want to chill. And people are coming and then I don't want to be just ki photo khicho niklo. I'm asking them which song did you enjoy? Give me feedback. This is my direct access to the source.
Yeah.
So Delhi show, 2 hours outstanding after my performance, taking pictures. And next thing you know, I'm like, ye line kyun nahi khatam ho rahi? And then somebody told me ki jo bodyguards the na, wo 500 le rahe the logon ke ki aao aapke photo karo. So I was like, ठीक है भाई, किसी का घर चल रहा तो.
That's right. They also had a good night.
Exactly. Yeah.
So speaking of people loving your music, right? So here's the data I have, that you've accumulated over 1.39 billion streams on Spotify, including tracks as a lead and a featured artist. Haseen has more than 170 million streams. Khayal has 113 million streams. Concerts are sold out. People are showing up with the face paint on. There's hundreds of fan pages. around you. But Talwiinder, what is your measure of success? What do you look at to say, ki, this worked?
The moment I started paying all my bills from the music, for me, like like a lot of artists ask me, like, when did you thought you made it?
Yeah.
I was like, bro, right when I knew I can pay my rent from music, I can pay my car, I can pay for my food, I can pay for all the necessities. That's it, you made it. Everything after that is just your wants, wants, wants. As long as your needs are met, you made it. So for me, it's just because the message and the goal is so much bigger than this. Like, I'm here to serve Punjabi language. My grandpa was a Punjabi teacher. So for me, it's not even about the views or the likes or the streams. It's more about that, are people singing along? Are people learning Punjabi because of me? So me doing a show in Bangalore, seeing people singing word by word, that's it. Like, I was like, I made it. People in South are singing Punjabi, like word by word. Like, what else you need?
Yeah.
And for me, these kind of moments is like, where the dopamine just hits right, and I just, close my eyes, and then I feel my grandpa just looking down, and it's like, he's doing what he's doing. And then for me to also navigate through that, because it's so easy to get lost. It's so easy to be like, oh, aajkal ye chal raha hai, ye kar lo.
Correct.
Ye chal raha hai, ye kar lo. It's never been like that for us, like, since day one. And it's always just like, you're going to create your own route. Even if nobody's following us, nobody's coming behind us, we're going to keep moving, because while we're going through that route, we will attract the energy that we need. And that's literally what it has been. My music has been word of mouth, people sharing it with their friends, and then their friends messaging me. मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड ने सुनाया ये गाना, अब वो मेरे साथ नहीं है. या मेरे बॉयफ्रेंड ने सुनाया, हमारा ब्रेकअप हो गया. तो मैं जब ये गाना सुनता हूँ, मुझे उसकी याद आती है. So it's like, so that's what it literally is. Like, for me, moving somebody's soul or moving somebody inside, like, with the music. That's it. For the moment I get messages that people message me, I was so depressed, I had so many self-harming thoughts, so many of, like, pressure, whatever, then your music was there for me. That's it. I was like, I made it. Even if one person's, I've changed their life, like, my job is done. And then from here on, and then coming back to the fan pages, I have not paid for any of that. It's just kids in high school or college just making it on themselves. And I even, like, I have group chats with them. Like,
Really?
Because I know who were the first ones. So
you reached out and connected.
Yeah, because obviously, like, when you have your first fan page made,
correct, it's a big deal.
It catches your attention. You're like, oh shit, somebody's really dedicating their time and energy for my vision and my cause. So for me, I've been in touch with all my fan pages that are, like, from the beginning. So I made a group chat with them just to tell them, like, I know who you are. There's a lot more pages, but I know who is real and who's here for the clout.
Yeah.
So that's literally is. It's just people coming in together to make this vision come to reality. And then there's just so much love. There's just so much love. I don't even focus on the hate, because they hate us because they ain't us.
I love that. I'm going to use that because I get a lot of hate too.
Oh, yeah. That's when you know you made it.
Okay, at any point, if you feel up to breaking into song, please do. I mean, we talked about Haseen, we talked about Khyal.
Yes.
So
Haseen, I'll tell you another crazy thing that I have not shared it publicly. So the whole song, I've spent maybe $500 on marketing. That's it.
What do you mean?
$500, that's it. And the whole thing is, from the get-go to the music video as well, is just 4 shots on loop.
Yeah.
And that's our favorite spot in California to go and watch sunset. So me and my friends used to go there every day, and then, like, we're going to shoot something here, man. We should, like, this is a special spot, we should do it. And I told him, I was like, yo, I have this track called Haseen, I'm thinking about dropping. And I had Haseen ready since 2021. And I didn't release it until 2025. So for me, I was just sitting on it, and I was like, I know I love this track, and I want to put it out because good music does not expire.
Yeah.
That's another message I wanted to tell the future upcoming artists, that if you have something good, don't panic, don't rush to drop it, that you feel like you're missing out on something, because good stuff does not expire. And this Haseen is an example of that. So we shot the video. One of my friends came for free. I was like, bro, please take some money. Tell me your fees. He's like, no, bro, it's out of love. And then even so, I started like, marketing a little bit, Facebook ads. I was like, let me just push it on stories because pretty much do everything myself. And and it caught little attraction, and then it started picking up. So I started seeing the view accumulating. So I messaged my friend again. I was like, bro, can I pay you something for this? And he's like, maybe, bro, it's out of love. Let's shoot another one. And I released it on Feb 23rd. That's my director's birthday. So it's like for me, like I release songs on my friends' birthdays or my family members' birthdays.
You know, it's my birthday too.
Feb 23rd?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Happy belated birthday. So yeah, so I'll sing Haseen for you.
Please do.
तेरे इश्क दा जाम हसीन है सुबह हसी मेरी शाम हसीन है ए बेमतलबी जिंदगी जदों दी तेरे नाम रंग अगे नालों पहला वध दिखण लगे ने किवें सोहणे होना सुपने भी सिखण लगे ने पहला होरां बारे लिखदे सी गल्लां जो हुण गाने तेरे मेरे उत्ते लिखण लगे ने तू हसीन तेरा नाम हसीन है तेरे इश्क दा जाम हसीन है ए बेमतलबी जिंदगी जदों दी तेरे नाम हसीन है तेरे इश्क दा जाम दिखता तेरे नाम.
Fab.
I'm just warming up.
That's lovely. You know, this thing you said about having this song for so many years, right? From 2021, and then you release it in 2025. You talked about how you like to let the music marinate. And I found that fascinating. You said that you listen to a song and how it sounds different at different times of the day. It sounds different in different seasons. What does that mean? How does a song sound different in different seasons?
Yes, so I don't know how to explain this, but I have some music that I make, and every time I listen to it, sometimes I feel the winter. That because I have to, it's an experience, right? I want to catch the audience at the right time. So even when I like release music, I don't make it public until it's nighttime because I want them to be comfortable in their bed, in their living room, cozy. Here you go.
Right.
Because if they're running out through the day and I make the song public at 3 p.m., nobody listening to that.
Sure.
They're like, bye.
No, वो ठीक है. But I'm saying
no.
this idea
Yes.
कि the music marinates. What happens to music when it marinates?
So it's also like another confirmation to yourself that am I done with this song within a few months?
Or is there more to add?
Does it still hits? So I have some like Haseen, like 4 years, right? I was sitting on, and every time I would listen to it, I'm like, it got it. So just like that, there's so much more music that I made these past couple of years that I need to finish, but it comes randomly. Like let's say like I have over 30, 40 ideas I'm sitting on. And then one day I'll just randomly, one of them is just buzzing in my head the whole day. That's when I know this time to get this one.
It's popping.
Yeah, exactly. Just bring it out. And then also I like to show it to my friends, my people around me. And I also see how they react to the song, or, like, am I guessing it right? Am I missing anything? And then the lyrics is the second component. So sometime I'll write half of the song and it just stays like that for a couple of years. And then the second half comes 3 years later.
So the tune comes first.
Yes. Melody is the first thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do the composition. I know that because that is the soul of the song. If the melody is not ringing in people's head, that means it needs more work. And then that happens often, like, where I doing a studio session with certain artists or friends. We leave the studio session and then I see them 2-3 days later and they're like, bro, it's still ringing in my head. So for me, it's a psychology, it's magic, it's everything, right? So that's literally how I look at it, and it also leaves no pressure on me that I don't have to release this tomorrow. कि अगर आज गाना बना है तो जरूरी नहीं है, like, कि इसको अभी निकालो, कोई timeline नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं है. It's just once the creative juices are flowing, I feel like an artist should just keep printing. Just make, because you don't want to be in a position where all the eyes are on you and you can't make. So that was one of the fears I used to have, like that,
a block.
Yeah, like what is this writer's block, right? So for me, I started writing in 2017, end of 16. So that was like the last year in college, and I wrote over like 200 songs.
200.
Yeah, at that time, like once I first started writing. So because the creative juices are flowing, so I'm like, let's go on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And I started working for a little bit after college. I was like, कि घर वालों को दिखा दें थोड़ा कि जॉब भी कर सकते हैं. Because obviously they don't want me to straight out of college कि oh he's gonna follow his passion, because I knew they're not gonna take that right.
Yeah.
So I worked for like 8-9 months, and
this is a Subway job?
No, this is a post graduation.
Okay.
Subway was in high school.
Subway was 16. That's right.
Subway was in high school.
Yeah.
So I worked for like 8-9 months, and even then every day I'm just writing, and then the guilt started building up inside of me that I need to release these songs. Because in my head, I'm obviously chasing security, I'm chasing steadiness in career and all, but in the back of my head, it's just like that these songs that you're writing, somebody need them more than you need it. So the guilt will kill me. And then literally like one day I was sitting at my job, and I'm just looking at my coworkers. I'm never going to see you again. I'm never going to see you again. I'm never going to see you again. Like, I'm not coming back tomorrow. You
just knew?
Yeah. I went home and I told my housemate that I was living with, Usman, and he's my best friend. And I was like, I need you to call my manager. He's like, why? I was like, tell him that he hurt his back at the gym and वो नहीं आ रहा कल काम पे.
और फिर कभी नहीं आना.
पहले हमने बोला था कि 3 महीने बोलते हैं कि बेड रेस्ट. डॉक्टर ने बोला कि बेड रेस्ट करो, काम कुम पे मत जाओ. So he calls her कि yeah, Talwiinder fucked up his back. He's not coming to the work tomorrow. And then she was a bit shocked, but that's my polite way of saying that I'm not coming back. I don't want to be like, कि I'm not coming back. I was like, let me just give them a 3-month period so where they can start looking for a replacement. Yeah. So I did that, and then now, literally, I leave my job. 2 months later, COVID hits. So now all my coworkers are getting paid from sitting at home.
Right.
And I'm unemployed.
Oh my God. The worst timing in the world.
Exactly. So मेरा यही था कि I was like, let's leave this job so I can focus on music. So then the moment I left the job, I was like, okay, now come on. Like, this is what you wanted to do. So now you have no excuse. Because first I was waking up at 5 a.m., getting ready by 6, and driving every day hour to the job, and then coming back. So I would reach back home at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I would be dead inside. Nobody wants to work on music when you're tired. So the routine, like I was literally like, I felt like I was in a cage. You know, like you go, you come back, and barely any time to do something that you love. So I left the job. Then after that, every 15 days, I was releasing a song. Every 15 days. So that's when my first, like the first half of the catalog came, like Kammoji, Ga, Gallan Char, Save Me, Tera Saath. So many of those, 15 days. I did that for 15, 20 tracks. And then after that, I came to India because I was like, now I have something to work with. Because if somebody discovers you as an artist and you only have 1 song or 2 songs, how do you expect them to get to know you from 2 minutes or 3 minutes? So for me, that was my thing, that I need to have some kind of catalog. So when somebody, even if they stumble across my profile,
there's variety.
So they can spend some time with me and get to know who I am. And then Karte Karte, I had around 50,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and that was just me running Facebook ads, because kaam to nahi hai ab. And you're running on limited money as well. So I used to spend $20 every day on Facebook ads, story ads. Karte Karte, I got it up to 50,000. And then I'm like, okay, 50,000 monthly listeners ho gaya, right? And then I was like, chalo ab India chalte hain. So now I'm like, ye ads ko rokna padega ab, kyunki I need the funds to survive in India. So I came to India and started meeting up artists here, started meeting up people from music industry. So
where did you come to?
I was in Delhi, Mumbai, back and forth. And Karte Karte, and then 6 months ho gaya mujhe, no ads, no nothing, right? So I'm scared to check my stats because I'm like, I don't know what it's gonna look like. So I look, and it's still 50,000 people there. They didn't leave. So for me, that's when I'm like, okay, so we got some people. So that's what it has been for me. Just whoever is there, focus on that. Stop कि और चाहिए और आ जाना थोड़ा मजा ही आ जाए और आ जाना. So that's literally what it has been for me since 2021, 2022. Whoever is coming is just welcome them into the community, into the family. Come here, spend some time with us, be part of the journey. And then even the whole blow up as well, right? Like I didn't want my blow up to be so sudden. I wanted to control it even more because I care about the quality. So when the whole thing happened, I also felt like that there's a lot of strangers now in my community that didn't really deserve to be there, or that haven't really spent that much time to be in my party. And one thing to the other. So right now, kafi khalara paya. But the real ones know who they are.
Achha, I want to talk about the process of creation, right? Especially the writing. So when you say you write half a song and then the other half might come years later, are you like taking notes on your phone? Are you talking, leaving voice notes, or do you physically write? How does that work?
All of the above.
Really?
Yeah. So
तो एक notebook होती है जिसमें लिखते हो आप?
Yes. It's almost out now. So every 1-2 साल बाद I switch the book. So abhi this one that I'm working on is almost out of pages. तो उसके maybe 5-10 pages ही बचे हैं. तो मैं अगले हफ्ते में कर दूंगा finish इसको, and then we move on to the next. And then I love voice notes. That's the most underrated app in the phone. I tell that to every artist. So like sometimes happens is I go to studio sessions with an artist and the producer is playing melody or kuch chal raha hai na, and then people just on top of their head like I'd look at them and I'm like, where's your voice note? Because then वो मैं क्या कर रहा था bro, मैं क्या कर रहा था.
It's in the moment.
Exactly, like capture it, because that's literally what it is. It's thoughts flying around. There's energy, and it's waiting for you to grab it. If you don't grab it, it's gonna go to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's how the Dundla track happened as well. Like I went to meet my friend Rishi, dropped out his house, and we had a session. And then I go in, and Yash Raj is sitting there, and they're working on the Dundla track. And I walk in, and I'm like, okay, heat, right? And then they're working at it, and so I'm just sitting on the side. Ki chalo, finish kar lo, then I'll start my stuff. And then they're doing, and then I just jumped in like, Khidani mainu hun raat tera, aake fad la tu hun hath mera. Both of them look at me like, you want to jump on this? And I'm like, bro, it's your track. Like, right. I'm not that type of artist that I'll be like, can I hop on this, man? So they were super nice and sweet. And then they told me like, no, please, bro, come. Next thing you know, first thing, the voice note comes out. So I was like, let me just write it down first. Literally on the spot, within 30 minutes, my verse was on the mic and good to go. Same thing happened with Honey Singh as well.
Right.
I met him in LA, and he was working on his album, Millionaire. And he was like, come to the studio, I'm going to play my whole album. So I'm like, okay. So I'm in San Francisco. It's a 5-hour drive or a 1-hour flight. So he tells me, this day, so and so, aja. So I was like, okay, theek hai, done, Paji, I'll see you. I pull up and we're hanging out. We go get Chipotle, and then we're listening to music in the car. And then he plays this one beat, which became the High on Me track. And he goes, I've been trying to crack this one, and hua nahi abhi kisi se crack. So what do you think about this? So I'm listening to it. So in my head, automatically, it just starts composing, like, kaise ho sakta hai, aise ho sakta hai. So I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, chalo, koi nahi, sochta hu main iske bare mein, aap bhejna mujhe. So he's like, koi nahi. So same later evening, we go to the studio. So he's playing his album for me, some of my friends, his team. We're all vibing to the tracks. And then he pulls up that track. And he's like, kare? And I'm like, yeah, let's go, karte hain.
Okay. It just comes out.
Yeah, so my vocals in that track is just one take.
Yeah.
The first take, that's it. I was like, just give me the track from the beginning and I'm going to just feel it out and then we'll take it from there. So he's like, done. So he sends me to the booth. He's on this side of the studio and I'm on that side. And he plays the track. So I started like, दिल नूं चढ़ती पई कराता मेरा करते करते I'm just having fun, right? I'm warming up. And next thing you know, I come out, I'm like, how's it sounding? Kareem? He's like, nahi ho gaya. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, this is it. And I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah. I was like, fuck, done, let's go. Yeah, super sweet.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
so for me, like voice notes, and then kabhi my last week, I was telling somebody that writing with the hand has its own.
Yeah.
Because you
It's
can,
special.
yeah, because you don't have to worry about autocorrects. You don't have to worry about deleting. You mess up, the pen just keeps flowing. It doesn't. There's no hesitation. There's no time to look at it. It's just doctor handwriting. So for me, I use voice notes. I have a bunch of notebooks that are filled with lyrics, and then I have. In my notes when I can't find the notebook or I'm in the flight and my bag is somewhere else, then I just pull out the notes, and then so I have some songs where like half of the songs are in the notebook, half of them are in the notes.
But Talwiinder, is there a जैसे बोलते हैं ना रियाज करना चाहिए, right? Like for singers, do you feel that you must write for X number of hours, or is there like a structure to the creation, or is it like this that it just comes and goes?
So when I was living in college, my studio was in my room. So for me, I don't believe in कि आज हम 2 घंटे स्टूडियो जाएंगे गाना बना के आएंगे, ऐसे नहीं होता मेरे से. Like I need 24-hour access कि
कभी भी.
हाँ, because sometimes your voice is not sitting right. Maybe you haven't spoken enough in a day. Maybe you haven't sang enough. So your vocal cords need to warm up. So for me, like it has always been key. Whenever I feel like doing it, I just do it. So most of the time I travel with my own mic and everything. And I've recorded my track Nasha in a random Airbnb in Mumbai. I've recorded Your Eyes inside an Airbnb in the kitchen, like literally in the kitchen cooking. I have a picture of that. I'll send it to you later. So for me, it really doesn't matter where I am or what kind of equipment I'm using. And then coming to the riyaz is I make music so I can do riyaz on them because I'll be singing those songs only. So, and then my fellow artists always tell me too, like that your songs are really good to do riyaz on, man. And because it automatically makes you want to sing along. It automatically makes you want to dive into the melody. Because when we think of riyaz, we think कि okay, harmonium.
Correct.
3 घंटे थोड़ा
सुबह बैठ के गाना. Yeah.
So and a lot of people get intimidated by that.
Yeah.
Like I used to get intimidated by that. Like if I'm like who has this much time or who has this much peace. Next thing you know, your neighbors outside.
बंद करो.
बंद कर. Calling cops on you, so
Yeah.
ये होता था हमारे साथ college में, like
really?
हाँ, like I'm
क्योंकि गा रहे
recording.
होते थे.
हाँ, I'm recording and something, and the neighbors calls the police on me. So that's like.
What would you say to the cops? I'm a legit singer.
Yeah. So for me, like I do riyaz when there's nobody around. For me, like that, I hate neighbors. Like for me, like I just can't stand people above me, on top of me, on the sides. I just can't, because I feel like somebody's always listening. And then when your mind knows that somebody's next to you, you won't go fully into the experimental zone. Because sometimes you want to make weird noises with your mouth. Sometimes you want to practice certain runs, and you might mess up. But having the pressure that somebody's watching will put more strain on it. So for me,
you can't be free.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I do my riyaz when I'm alone. I do my riyaz on my songs that I know I will be performing, because I used to do covers back in 2015, 16. So I've been singing other people's songs like up to that age. And then when you're singing somebody else's song, people automatically judge you off the bat. Like, oh, Atif Aslam ka ga raha hai. Dekhte hain इससे वो होता है कि नहीं.
Correct.
अरे अरिजीत सिंह का गाना गा रहा है, देखते हैं इससे वो होता है कि नहीं. So when I started writing my own music, the confidence was such a big thing, because I remember somebody asked me that, do you get nervous when you perform? And I'm like, I used to get nervous when I was singing other people's music, but who's gonna tell me how to sing my song better than me? So literally that is it. And then I do riyaz even without singing sometimes, like in my head. It's just like you can just focus on it and you know the melodies. I can riyaz in falsetto, where the person next to me on the flight won't even know I'm doing riyaz.
Really?
I have this app on my phone called Pitch Perfect. So it has these keys like, so literally just frequency sounds.
Yeah.
And I do my riyaz on that sometimes just to match my voice to that. That's it. And I do that sometimes with driving to the show, to the concert, and I'm on my phone and just pressing those buttons and just warming up the vocal cords.
Nice.
Yeah. And then sometimes we have the sound check on the same day of the show. So that's also like a little pain in the butt because you go to the sound check because you want to check everything is cool, but what these show promoters and people don't realize that artists tire their voice out in the sound checks because I want my sound engineer to know how loud I'm going to be singing. So I have to actually sing that loud how I'm going to perform later.
Yeah.
So during the sound check, sometimes you strain your voice, you tire yourself out, and then you go back, you get ready, and then you come back and perform again, and then you're just like, it's not like a really.
It's not optimal.
Yeah, it is definitely not optimal. So
Yeah.
we try to do the sound check like a day before the show, so that way the voice is fully rested because that's what people are there for, right?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people forget that that's the main essence. That it's the performance. It's not the videos. It's not the photos. It's not the sold out shows. It's not the stage design. It's not that. They're here to see you sing.
Yeah.
And if the main element is not doing his thing, everything else is kind of like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Talwiinder, you mentioned Honey, and I have to tell you, so I interviewed him, must have been 10, 12 years ago, right? And we were talking about the lyrics of his songs, and I can't remember the name of the song, but there's one song in which the lyric was something like, of course, the boy is looking at a woman and he's saying something like "bomb lagdi menu," right? Something like that. So
Blue eyes.
Blue eyes, that's right. Right. So I said to him that, the truth is that, like, my son, who was a teenager at that time, is going around sort of going "bomb lagdi menu," and I was like, listen, it's a bit odd. And he said to me, grow up. He said, I'm just singing what's out there. I'm putting into music what I see in the world around me. But the truth is, Talwiinder, your music is not about guns or gangsters or this projection of masculinity in a certain way or talking about women in a certain way. Why have you deliberately stayed away from what is a lot? It's the norm. It seems to be the norm in a lot of Punjabi music.
Yeah. That's exactly the reason I came into music. So that the kids that are growing up these days, so they have some good music to listen to. For me, I'm personally a fan of Gurdas Maan, Surinder Kaur, Shiv Kumar Batalvi, Amrinder Gill, and these guys, they have the music that I still listen to, even if it's 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, Yamla Jat. You take it as back as you want, and then that's the kind of music I want to make. Because the moment I started introducing trends, brands, objects in my songs, you put an expiration date on the track. So for me, you will never hear random English words in my songs. You will never hear me talking about violence, because when somebody's listening to music and then you're pushing them on that edge, why you think there's fights at some artist shows? Why you think people are getting stabbed at some shows? Why you think there's always another whole ruckus going on in the parking lots? Because that's the environment you're creating for your audience. And for me, it's never been about that. And I feel like if everybody's talking about violence, the least I can do is talk about love. And, and it comes down to the same thing. Like, I want people to listen to my music in 50 years, in 100 years, because I don't want to put any of this thing just to be relevant or just to be cool. It's okay. You might not listen to it, but your kids will. And they will learn Punjabi through my music. That's what I'm here for. For me, it's not about telling you how cool I am, how macho I am.
Yeah.
Look at my car, look at my watch. Like, get out of here, dude.
In fact, you said that you want your music to be a bridge between your roots and the rest of the world. Yeah. Tell me about that.
It's literally that, what I just said. So many people message me that I never used to listen to Punjabi music. I never used to enjoy like Punjabi songs like this. But the moment I heard you, it felt so familiar. It felt like कि कहीं सुना है पहले मैंने. And it's just for me that's literally is me because Punjabi is such a beautiful language, and if done right, it can do wonders. And for me, my grandpa was a Punjabi teacher, and I consider myself the modern Punjabi teacher for the youth, the Gen Zs, the kids growing up these days. Because if I am also telling them the same thing that the artists have been telling us for these last 10, 15 years, then how am I different? Yeah. And for me, I always believe in going against the grain a little because I'd rather work a little harder than to take the easy way out. And then I want people to fall in love with the language. I want people to fall in love with the culture. I want people to know that there's way to do this without doing cleveriyan. We're trying to be like, over smart than the audience because audience can see through the bullshit. Yeah. They can see through everything. And then the artists that don't realize that are going to be the ones that are going to be left behind. Mm-hmm. The moment you become yourself more vulnerable to your people that are paying attention to you is how you build longevity, Like if it's so easy, like obviously I'm wearing a mask, but my music is open book. Like, they will always learn way more about me from my music, So like that's it. Like my music is the way that I feel like people will fall in love with the language, be more interested in the culture, be more interested. And then at this time right now in the world, #1 artist is a Spanish-speaking artist, Bad Bunny. He won so many Grammys recently. He's performing at Super Bowl, and you know what he said? I'm not gonna sing in English.
Right.
He said, I am gonna sing in Spanish because those are the people that put me here. And like, I get told all the time, like, oh, would you ever try English? I'm like, why? I'd rather listen to The Weeknd. Like, why would somebody come listen to me singing in English?
Right.
Like just to new market, khul jayenge thodi.
Correct.
It's like,
correct.
Get out of here.
You're not in a hurry. Yeah. No, I get that. I want to talk a little bit, Talwiinder, about the roots, right? So you're growing up in Taran, you're there, you're singing, like you said, in school, you're performing. And then at 13, you moved to California. And you've talked about how you did not speak English. Mm-hmm. So you stayed quiet so much that the non-Punjabi boys in your school thought that you were mute. Yeah. What does that experience sort of do to a person? How did it shape you as an artist, that level of culture shock?
Yeah. So, like I say, right, like as a baby, as a kid, I used to love attention. Singing, claps, dancing at school, just to hear the applause. Yeah. And then when that shift happened, it like kind of shattered me because I don't know the language. I'm sitting in the other side of the world where I've been trained and, like molded into something else, and now you've been placed here. So for me, my confidence literally to zero, even -10. So for me, all I had was just observe. All I can do is observe. Just looking at other kids to understanding how are they talking to me? Are they making fun of me without even understanding what are they saying, just from their tonality, body language.
And so, kids can be mean.
Exactly. High school?
Yeah, it's tough.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
But luckily there was no racism. There was no bullying. There was none of that. But it was just the confidence that I can't even communicate with anybody. Yeah. I can't even talk to a person in my class, even though I really want to, but I don't know where to start. All I know is, hey, my name is Talwiinder, and I don't speak English. That's it. Those 2 sentences for at least 2 years. And, sitting in a class, teachers lecturing, and I have no idea what's going on. And then, because when we moved, I literally had 2 days to chill. Third day, they put me in school.
Wow.
So I show up, and then, because we moved to Indiana first, before California. So we lived there for 3-4 months. And then Indiana is a very, very like, our South Asians is barely anywhere.
Yeah. So, California mein to hai.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Indiana, I remember going to the school the first day. So they called 2 brown kids. There are only 2 brown kids in the school to come to the office to meet me. There's a new kid here who doesn't speak the language. So the 5,000 kids school. Wow. two brown kids. One guy from Pakistan. Both of them are born in US. One guy from Pakistan family background and one girl from Amritsar family background. Both of them whitewashed ass. so, so I'm looking at them, and then the girl kind of gave up. She's like, "I made it any guy."
This is too tough.
So the guy was sweet enough to tolerate me.
Right.
So he became my person to hang out with, and me and him going. So they put my schedule exactly like him.
Yeah.
And
so you were his shadow, or he was yours.
Yeah. So I'm with him, and then everybody obviously excited, like, "Oh shit, who's this new kid? Why doesn't he say anything? Something." So they would he would tell them that, "Oh, he's new here. He's just getting used to this, and he'll open up. So then they would ask him, "We want to say hello to him. How do we say hello to him?" So this homie, being Muslim, he goes salam. so every day for like 3 months, all the white kids used to be like salam. And I used to be like, what is going on?
And then you moved to California.
So first day in school in California, I remember, first period, I'm early to class, and I go there. We have the roll sheet. So I go there, and I started reading the names. So then I started saying Harpreet Singh, Sukhpreet Virdi, so on and so on. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, we got it. We got some Punjabis in the house. I think we'll be good. And then the teachers would put me, obviously, with them as well. So I became super good friend with them, and I'm still friends with those people.
Wow.
And so I would sit with them during the exams, and then sometimes the teacher would even tell one kid, if he's not comfortable taking the exam here, both of you guys can go to the library and take the exam there. So then we would go there, and I would just copy off of him. And then he would also be happy because the teacher's not there. So he also would have like.
But you were not like traumatized by this.
No, not traumatized. Definitely not traumatized. I was more of a shocked. And then I think the only trauma that probably would have came was the lack of confidence. And I feel like that's somewhat carried into me. And when I made the switch to music, like that I'm gonna go full at this, because I've been singing since I was like 3, 4, like I can't even remember. So when I knew like I want to start recording music, that's when I was like, okay, this is Sydney guy. His confidence is shattered. He does not know where he belongs. Because when I'm there, I feel like a misfit. When I'm in India, I feel like a misfit. So that's where the community of misfits kind of like was built. So that's the thing I push every day. Like, stop trying to fit in. Just be who you are. Don't worry about what society wants, what people want. It's your life. You live once. Live by your rules and do what makes you happy. That's it.
Nice. Nice. I was talking a couple of years ago to Gippy, and he said to me that when he first moved to Canada, he worked as a security guard in a mall. He was cleaning toilets, and he said that that's actually what makes me the artist that I am today. All those years. And he said it wasn't like we were saying ki arey badi struggle and all. It was what you did. You were kind of very sorted about it. So when you look back, Talwiinder, at those, you say you make the best Subway sandwich in the world because you spent so many months working there, right? Do you see that as one of the things that has really shaped who you are today?
Definitely. Because I got that job so I can learn English. Because it's like straight facing like the front line. Random people are coming every day, and then you have to go off of their energy. Does this person want to communicate? Can I sense? Is he open to conversations? So karte, like I worked there for like 3, 4 years while I was in high school, and definitely built a lot, because so the Subway was owned by one of the Punjabi uncles there. And so I got the job, and then he trained me, and then so I would go to school from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then I would go home, and then from 5:30 to 9:30 was my work. And then so I would come at about 5:30, and then I would tell uncle like, "Tusi jao and chal maro, you worked all day, like I got it from here." So it just used to be me and the store. So then sometime we'll get super busy, and then people in line. But I just had a certain momentum going that even people would be like, "You're really fast, man." And that's what I believe in. Like, अगर कुछ करना है तो पूरा जन जान से करो. Like, don't half-ass
अच्छे
that.
से करो.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have some pride in whatever work you do, and that's what shapes who you are, because you can become anybody in the future, Joby, but if your morals and your ethics aren't right, you won't be able to sustain it.
Yeah, yeah. And the US also, of course, gave you, I guess, the design for the mask because it was Halloween 10 days after you landed.
Yes.
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 So is that where the basic sort of idea comes from?
No, it's low-key inspired by Shaktiman, Mr. India, Superman.
Heath Ledger, Joker?
Yeah,
है
Joker,
ना?
exactly.
थोड़ा
Yes,
traces
yes,
उसका
yes.
भी है.
Because you can't do the craziness when you know that your neighbors are watching, or your family is watching, or
Yeah.
your close ones are watching. So you need an alias. And for me, I didn't want to be one of those artists that's just like full Besharam, you know? So I was like, let's just play it safe, because this is not something light. Like, I take a lot of pride in music, and the whole persona became obviously from wrestling as well, Rey Mysterio. Like, I've seen it like all around my life while growing up. So I knew that I wanted to, like, switch it up. And then California being part of Mexico in the past, Cinco de Mayo, Halloween, it was just always around. And then even when it came to choosing the mask, I knew it was going to be the skull, because it's universal. And I wanted people that anytime they see like a skull, Talwiinder ke gaane nahi sune yaar, काफी time हो गया.
It's also clever marketing.
Yes, definitely. Because it's, for me, like, I love the psychology factor behind everything. I feel like it should be more fun. And if you have this many people's attention, like, play with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Give them something new. Don't repeat the same thing that everybody's doing. Like, let's shock them a little bit. Let's expand their mind a little bit. And that's what I've been at. And then, yeah, they might know what I look like now. I don't care. The people that love my music, I just want to tell them that this doesn't affect me, doesn't change anything, it only makes me stronger. And then the music that's coming is going to be the answer to that.
Yeah. And will you continue with the mask, or are there any ideas of letting it go?
No, now तो अब तो जिद्दी हूँ मैं.
अब तो है.
हाँ, अब तो है. Yes. ढूंढ लो मुझे फिर भी mask के बिना. But if you're gonna come to watch me sing, you will have to face the mask. Yeah, because the other guy really don't care about anything. He just wants to live a normal life. He wants his bills to be paid. And this is guys, इसकी जिम्मेदारी है to satisfy the world and to live with all the noise and the chaos. So no, the mask will be there. And I was working on something that maybe we do like a reveal or something in the future, but it was kind of snatched away from me. So I'm not going to take that lightly. And we'll see.
You know, though, that the big question now is not about the mask at all.
What is the big question?
You know what the big question is. Okay. I mean, if I have to spell it out, it is whether you are or are not in a relationship with Disha.
I mean, we just got to know each other right before the wedding. So, and then all of this attention kind of was like, it caught us off guard, both of us. And then for us, like, we don't want to give in to the pressure or the rumors that it is what it is. We're still discovering ourselves. We're still figuring out ourselves. And I would just leave it at that, because if they're going to try to spread the rumors, I'm going to let the rumors be rumors.
But Talwiinder, in the interview that you did with Tarannum, you talked about, she asked you about love and relationships, and you said, if I wasn't Talwiinder, maybe I could think about those things. So has that changed, that you can now think about those things?
I mean, I wasn't Talwiinder in that video.
Or you were one of the eyes.
Exactly.
Right.
One of the eyes.
Yeah.
No, because if you remember, I also said that I fall in love every day.
Yes, you did.
So I'm falling in love right now. The answer.
Okay, you're very cleverly deflecting all of it, but that's fine. That's fine. Tell me, Talwiinder, do you have ambitions about Bollywood? Because your song was used in Teri Baaton Mein. is this a place you want to be in? You aspire to be a part of it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I grew up on Bollywood movies, and Bollywood music was huge for me from 2013 to 2017, 2018. Because at that time, it's just me and the music, I can't talk to people, so bas music hi hai. So I'm huge fan of Mohit Chauhan, KK, Kailash Kher, Arijit Singh. Like, these guys are somewhat the reason also for my music taste as well.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. So for me, I definitely love Bollywood, but for me, it's not the end goal, or it's not like something that I am chasing. It just happened to it has happened to work with each other, because I make music, movies need music. And then when it works out, it works out. When it doesn't, I don't take it to the heart. There's no कि मुझे चाहिए ये गाना मेरा ये हो ही हो. So it's just like whenever it works out naturally, it works out naturally. And for me, I believe in sitting down with the director and actually hearing it from them, that which part of the movie are you going to use this for, and what's the tone or what's the mood of that scene. Because if you can just tell me, I'll write you one right now. Because sometimes what happens is they're like, गाने भेजो.
Right. वो नहीं होता.
क्या भेजूं, bro? Like, I don't know what to send you. Like, can you tell me something? Like, I don't want to take shots in the dark. So that's what happens. And then whenever the right conversation sparks, and then I know a little bit more about the story or about the scene, it just gets easier for me to pinpoint कि I have something. If not, maybe I'll work on it. So it's literally that. And then I believe Bollywood is a really strong foundation for our generation here. And then for me, if I'm at a point where I have certain eyes on me, certain attention, and if I can send that over to somebody's project and maybe add more value to the project, why not? But I also know when I'm being used. So it's literally that's it. And then other than that, maybe you'll see me compose the whole movie in the future.
Yeah? That would be lovely. You mentioned Arijit, and I have to ask you, we're all still in a little bit of a shock, right? I don't know, as an artist, Talwiinder, do you feel that you can understand why another artist would walk away? Can you explain to us? Because we have no access to him. Like, what do you imagine is going on in his head?
I will tell you, from my point of view, right? So what happens is, so I write my own music, and even the production as well, I have somewhat of a say. कि ऐसे होगा, ये structure होगा. When it comes to playback, as a vocalist, which is one of the main ingredients, playback singers don't really get that voice to be like, yo, isko thoda aise kar dein, trust me. Just on that. And I feel like if the artist feels not acknowledged by that, somewhat it builds up inside of you. And I feel like he just made this choice to have more creative freedom, to focus on more
control.
Yeah, exactly, more control. Because obviously, when you're making a song for a movie, there's so many people involved, and there's so many egos involved. So you have to walk very carefully, and then try not to hurt anybody's feeling. And I feel like he was just tired of that, And then I support his decision. I feel like, and he say he's not going to stop making music. It's just from the playback, because playback singing somewhat, I felt like he was being used a lot as well. Like, कि हर movie में कहीं ना कहीं. So you lose the spark, like, from Tum Hi Ho to 2016, it's just like, you can see when somebody's just exhausted and drained out, like.
There's no joy in it.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's a good chapter for him. I believe it's an exciting chapter for him. And from an artist's point of view, I understand, like, why he made that choice.
Yeah. So what are your choices for the next couple of years?
I'm working on an album right now. And so I'm going to drop that. And then obviously the Halloween is ours. So every October, something's going to happen. And I have too much music I need to release. And so I'm just always just looking for those time where I can just lock in myself in the studio and just work those, because that guilt when there was 200 songs, imagine now. Like,
अब कितने?
I'll let you guess.
नहीं, अच्छा thousands में होंगे ना अब तो, है ना? कितने?
2,000 plus.
Really?
Yeah. That's just that.
In various stages.
Yes.
So some are like completed, some are half done.
Yeah. 2,000 plus ideas, easy.
Wow.
So for me, that's why it's like very important for me to kind of like, keep the tunnel vision and just focus on what I'm here to do rather than getting lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
And then obviously media hasn't been kind.
Has not?
Yeah, it's just the whole privacy, because I don't know, I went to the promotion for the Dharma movie, and I met all the paps there, and that was my first interaction there, and I think I was super sweet to them. I gave them my time, I gave them my attention, and then the kind of treatment that I got back was a little bit disappointing, but then again, I don't blame them because sabko apna ghar chalana hota hai. So it's okay if I'm getting used in the process. Why not? As long as somebody's getting views, they're happy, I'm happy. Because at the end of the day, like, what kind of artist complains about getting this much attention?
That's right.
Right? It's anybody's dream कि मेरे बारे में बात करो.
Yeah.
People are paying for that.
Yeah.
ये पैसे ले लो, बस post कर दो हमारे बारे में.
Correct.
And we're over here like, यार क्यों डाल रहे हैं?
That's right.
क्यों post कर रहे हैं?
Yeah.
So it's a very, very tricky situation to be in.
But it's a good position to be in.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, definitely. So that's where the whole psychology thing comes in, right? That you set up a few game plans in a way that even if the plan doesn't work out, it will favor you in your favors.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what it has been, and maze hain baki apan to focus on music. I don't get distracted by any of this. It's just a little annoying that every time I open social media, it's just me.
Hey, there are people who would kill to be in that position, okay? That every time I open social media, it's just me. Diljit had told me कि नियत साफ होनी चाहिए बस. I really live by that.
Yeah.
है ना कि नियत साफ होनी चाहिए.
Exactly. That's what it is. And then for me, only thing that annoys me a little is the strangers that I mentioned that are now part of the community. And I feel like that's what making the existing community or the foundation community, Jyoti, they're feeling that I'm not paying attention to them. That now there's so many people in this. Is he focusing on us? So I just want to tell them that all of this noise, all of this bullshit is not gonna faze me. Trust me, I got you. I see you. Chill out with me.
Okay, and before I let you go, can you maybe do Miss Me Like That?
Yes, of course. ਬਿੱਲੋ ਨਖਰੇ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਲਈ ਤੇਰੀ ਚਾਲ ਐਵੇਂ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਦੀ ਐ ਕਿਉਂ ਬਿੱਲੋ ਨਖਰੇ ਸੰਭਾਲ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਚੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੇਖੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੇ ਕਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਚੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੇਰੇ ਜ਼ੁਲਫਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਾਲ 'ਚ ਫਸੀ ਜੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਬਸ ਕੱਢ ਸਕਦੀ ਐ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਤੇਰੇ ਜ਼ੁਲਫਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਾਲ. So this Zulfan This Jal is actually taken from, I have a track called Khayal.
Of course.
With NDS.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you that quick story. I got in touch with him right after quitting my job and sitting home unemployed. And so he emails me that, because at that time I was just looking up on YouTube beats, and क्योंकि producer तो कोई जानता नहीं मुझे, ना ही कोई family में music करता है, ना ही कोई दोस्त, तो I'm looking up online कि कहाँ से music लेके कुछ करूँ मैं. So I get an email one day and, hey bro, my name is NDS, I'm a music producer and I think your voice will really suit these kind of elements. And I opened one of the files and one of the files was for Khayal track. So when I remember I wrote that track, that was one of the first track we made together. And uska bhi yahi tha ki aadha maine likh diya pehle and I was stuck on the second part. Ye jehde zulfan de jaal tere तेरे जेड़े जुल्फां दे जाल तेरे. यहीं पे रुका था ना मैं. तो Usman, my best friend, I'm sitting with him and I'm like, I need to write one like a second to this, right? So, and obviously I'm writing for the girls, right? Because I believe if anybody can market the artists, nobody's better than girls, ladies, love. And so obviously, look, I'm dedicating this line to them, and then karte karte, I'm like, जद तैनू वेखां उड़ जांदे होश मेरे मेरे जेड़ी जुल्फां दे जाल तेरे तेरे. And Usman looks at me like, and I'm like, yeah. So karte we finished that track, and then I came to India in COVID, and then I played that for Sony Music India, and then the track became what it became. But
Yeah.
and NDS is like my main like person that I like to like make music with.
Yeah.
So for me, like that's where our relationship started, because he knew what would suit my voice, and I knew how to tackle his production.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it became the combination it has.
But the Zulfa ke Jaal came from there
Yes.
into this song
Into
now.
Yes.
Nice.
Miss me with that. Yeah. So for me, all of my songs are connected one way or the other.
It's a universe.
Yeah, exactly. It's a universe. So I take even like Pal Pal, for example. So I have a song called Nasha, where there's a line, तेरा मेरा अफसाना देखी अद्धा रह जाना ना 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 ना. So वो मेरा था उस लाइन है ना. तो अफसाना मीन स्टोरी. एंड सो मैं सोच रहा हूँ तो पल पल सॉन्ग कम्स आउट ऑन यूट्यूब है ना. तो उसी दिन रिलीज़ हुआ. जैसा लाइक 30-40K व्यूज़. तो मैंने देखा वो आ ही जा रहा है थंबनेल मेरे साइड पे ना. आ ही जा रहा है ना. I'm like, काफ़ी सैड लग रहा है ना कि the girl is in the wedding outfit and you can tell that she's crying and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to listen to something so sad right now. And then why जा रहा है? So I click it and I listen to it. I'm like, damn, what a track. So I look up the artist and a Fusic. I go to his Instagram and then I see he's super good friend with Hassan Rahim. So I'm like, oh shit, he's part of the family. He's part of the community. Fire under the video. And then I think his team or the Universal Music team sees that. They reach out to my team. Will Talwiinder be okay to jump on this track? And it took me for a minute. Like I was like, am I being used here? Or then I was like, I do like the track. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I heard the song and then his lyrics, and then obviously like the girls running away from in the video from marriage and all. So then literally my verse starts from that Nasha line. तेरा मेरा अफसाना पूरा होया ना जाना होवा बंद कमरे विच कल्ला फिर भी दिसदा ए परेशान सारे पुछदे ने मैनू क्यों मैं गल्लां नहीं करदा किन्ने सोहणे ने चेहरे इत्थे दिल क्यों नहीं ए भरदा. And then the next part is from one of my idols, Amrinder Gill. He has this song called what's the song? It's called about कि जब तक तेरे दर्शन नहीं होते मेरा दिन नहीं स्टार्ट होता है ना. तेरे दर्शन बड़े जरूरी नहीं तो फिर नींद न आनी नहीं. So I was like, okay, I was like पहला तो मैं नशा से ले लिया अपना है ना, यूनिवर्स से उठा लिया. I was like, जे ना दीदार होया उन्ना चिर दिन नहीं चढ़दा दिल करे दिलदारियां बिना गल्लों सारियां ना लड़दा जिद्दां रंग मिलदे ने उदां ही आपां मिल जाना जिद्दां फुल खिलदे ने उदां ही दोना खिल जाना जिद्दां रंग मिलदे ने उदां ही आपां मिल जाना जिद्दां फुल खिलदे ने उदां ही दोना खिल जाना. तो दिलदारियां भी अमरिंदर गिल का एक गाना है पुराना.
So you sort of combined all of it.
वो था. तो एक एलिमेंट यहाँ से लिया एक एलिमेंट यहाँ से लिया. सो मेरे जितने भी गाने यही है कि समटाइम आई हैव ओल्ड सॉन्ग जिसमें मुझे एक लाइन बहुत पसंद है. आई जस्ट टेक दैट लाइन एंड आई एम लाइक चलो इसको खोलो अब कि व्हाट डिड आई मीन बाय दिस लाइन. तो नशा में बोल रहा था मैं कि हमारा अफसाना पूरा नहीं होगा मे बी, बट पल पल में मैंने बोल दिया कि नहीं हुआ. So it's like a full circle moments and certain stories, and some songs I write in the past, some songs I write in the future. And then it's a game for my audience because when I did the Pul Pul track, people started commenting, Afsana Nasha se, Afsana Nasha.
So it's Easter eggs,
exactly,
right? Jaise
exactly.
pictures mein, like the Marvel movies, there's always Easter eggs.
Yes.
You're doing that.
Yeah. So for me, I'm always like looking forward to that. Ki,
do they catch it?
कि किसी ने notice किया कि नहीं.
How nice.
How
fun.
मजा आना चाहिए. It should be exciting.
Of course मजा आना चाहिए. Listen, बहुत मजा आया.
Thank you for having me.
It has been so much fun, and really look forward to where you go with all of this amazing art and, of course, the mask.
Yes, I'm just trying to make all of Indians proud. I want to make the whole South Asia proud, just like how Bad Bunny does it. It's about time that we send one of our Avengers out there as well.
I love that. Talwiinder, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.